Drake has been busy, there is no doubt about that, dropping a whopping 11 tracks since his much talked about feud with Kendrick Lamar, but it seems like he's still on a mission to prove something, trying to shake off the summer's drama and smooth over the damage done. With 3 fresh solo songs kicking off their official tracking period, you'd think it would be a big moment, but the Billboard Hot 100 tells a different story. The new tracks are not hitting like they used to. The public's enthusiasm seems to be cooling off, and if that wasn't a sign to take a breather and rethink the game plan, nothing is. Yet in true Drake fashion, he's charging ahead, dropping another trio of songs. One of these, SuperSoak, comes with a little bit of history. It was leaked as SOD and even got previewed by Kai Cenat. But here's where it gets interesting. Lil Yachty, who was featured on the leaked version, is nowhere to be found on the official release. So what's the story there? It sure makes you wonder what's been going on behind the scenes and how the song took shape from leak to launch. Drake's turning up the heat and doing something different this time around. He's decided to take on Kendrick Lamar head on, rather than sitting back and letting others like 21 Savage do the talking for him. Remember It's Up? That was Savage's diss track, but now with his latest release, No Face, featuring Playboy Cardi, Drake is stepping into the ring himself. It's a pretty big deal, marking a bold shift in his strategy. What's even more interesting is that No Face is the first track in a long while to be recorded after all the beef ended, showing that Drake's finally ready to face the controversy instead of dancing around it. 4 months he's been trying to steer clear of the drama, but this new directness is definitely something to pay attention to. When it comes to squaring off against the biggest rap feud of the century, trying to unravel the intricate web Kendrick Lamar has spun, Drake's got his work cut out for him. It's no easy task, especially after a summer of releases that didn't exactly set the world on fire. But it looks like Drake is ready to turn things around. His latest effort breaks away from the sound he's been leaning on recently, diving into darker, more intense production that feels like a breath of fresh air. The vocals? They've got a spark of energy and passion that's been sorely missed, a far cry from the detached, almost robotic vibe we've been hearing from him lately. By stepping up his game and moving past the low points of the last few months, Drake's giving himself a real shot at reclaiming some of that lost artistic cred. In a surprising twist, Drake ditches his usual playbook and gives us a rare peek into his thoughts right from the first verse of this track. Instead of playing it cool or pretending the drama swirling around his career doesn't exist, he dives right into the thick of it. He doesn't just take on Kendrick, but also throws shade at other rivals like Future and Metro Boomin with the line, I got to know how you get lit off the person you hated on. Drake delivers a sharp dig aimed squarely at Kendrick. It's a clever move, flipping the script and trying to paint his rival as the odd one out for building an anthem around hating on him. This strategy is all about taking back control of the story and shifting the focus in their high-stakes feud. Drake keeps the heat on, this time taking aim at the authenticity of Kendrick Lamar's success, especially when it comes to the streaming numbers of Kendrick's diss track, Not Like Us. He doesn't just throw shade. With the line numbers untouchable, they got the data wrong, Drake hints that maybe those impressive streaming numbers aren't as legit as they seem. He is trying to say that Kendrick might have used bots to pump up the streams, helping Not Like Us claim its spot as the most streamed diss track ever. But Drake's not just about pointing fingers. He's also out to show he's not backing down. With a defiant verse, this is the moment I know they've been preying on, trying on the boy, but F it, I'm staying on. He makes it clear he's here to stay. He wants everyone to know that despite the ongoing conflict and all the attempts to drag him down, he's standing tall, confident, and ready to face whatever comes next. If you're enjoying this video, don't forget to give us a thumbs up. Also, subscribe so you don't miss more updates on Drake. Now let's get back into it. In the latter part of the verse, Drake slips into the familiar groove of self-promotion, hyping up his next move with a level of enthusiasm that's starting to wear thin after nearly 15 tracks he's recently released. At this point, it's getting harder to buy into the idea that he's really going to deliver something groundbreaking rather than just keeping the hype train rolling. But then in the second verse, Drake switches things up and gets a bit more introspective, giving us a peek into the struggles he's been wrestling with, both in his career and personal life. He doesn't hold back, admitting how relentless the attacks have been, saying, "'Cause I keep on talking about beefing and business and money and women, it's no diagnosis, they emptied the clip." It's almost like he's acknowledging that he's been hit hard, that Kendrick, Future, Metro Boomin, and the rest have thrown everything they've got at him. But Drake isn't one to stay down for long. Just as quickly as he admits to the pressure, he flips the script, turning that moment of vulnerability into a show of strength. He comes back with, "Quick switch that out and I came back reloaded. I'm just so happy that people who envied and held that stuff in got to finally show it. I'm over the moon, yeah we'll see you boys soon. I'm spreading my wings, I hop out cocoon, I'm studio trap and I'm locked in the room." With this rapid turnaround, Drake casts himself as a phoenix rising from the ashes, ready to take flight once again, his creativity and determination reignited by the challenges he's faced. The sharpest jabs on the entire track are aimed squarely at Kendrick Lamar, with Drake doing his best to downplay the impact of Kendrick's words. He puts on a show of being above it all, pretending to be happy for those who have found success by coming at him, trying to cast himself as the bigger person, rising above the drama. But by the time the verse wraps up, that cool collected image starts to crack, revealing a simmering need for payback and a score left unsettled. This contradiction makes it clear that Drake's not as indifferent as he'd like us to believe. There's still some deep-seated resentment bubbling underneath the surface. Given the context, the release of this track is more than a little interesting. If it had been a debut single or a teaser for something big coming, it might have made sense, but considering the string of lackluster features and singles Drake has dropped this summer, none of which have made much of a splash, this track feels more like a self-indulgent vanity project than a strategic move. Drake's attempts to stir up old beefs, especially with Kendrick Lamar, seem off-target and half-hearted at best. Every day that passes without Drake taking decisive action, the clock is ticking, and the window of redemption is narrowing fast. The pressure is building, and the narrative that he's lost his creative edge and it might not ever come back is gaining traction. It's baffling that instead of taking concrete steps to address the criticism and breathe new life into his music, Drake keeps pretending he's got something big up his sleeve. This inaction isn't just disappointing, it's damaging his credibility and chipping away at the respect he's earned in the music world. If he doesn't move soon, the gap between what he promises and what he delivers might just become too wide to bridge. Truthfully, this song isn't exactly a disaster, but it's evident that Drake's recent releases, including this one, just don't pack the punch of his earlier hits from only a few months ago. The track, like its predecessors, shows that despite his claims of being unaffected by the ongoing drama and beefs, Drake is still deeply entangled in it, clearly plotting his comeback. The lyrics reveal an obsession that's starting to feel almost desperate. By churning out tracks driven by a need for validation and revenge, Drake seems to be losing his artistic edge and getting caught up in a cycle of self-sabotage. It's almost as if he's casting a wide net, hoping something will stick to salvage his reputation. The fact that No Face is the only track from this trio getting any real attention says a lot. This song's focus on stirring up old conflicts and revisiting past feuds only weakens Drake's overall impact. His disses, filled with vague threats and accusations of obsession, lack the sharpness and clarity that once made his lyrics stand out. As fans and the music industry start to lose interest in his new material, it's becoming clear that Drake needs to take a step back, reassess his approach, and get back to making music that truly resonates and makes an impact. Given that Drake's last direct shot at Kendrick Lamar, The Heart Part 6, was met with widespread mockery and disdain, it's surprising he's diving back into this feud. This new track seems like a frantic attempt to revive a narrative that's long lost its steam. By targeting those who've criticized him in the past, Drake is trying to drum up some excitement and fear around his comeback, but this effort feels a bit hollow, especially when you compare his bold claims of being better than ever with the reality of his failing reputation, slipping streaming numbers, and a string of distasteful releases. Kendrick Lamar, who reportedly wasn't bothered by Drake's previous diss track Family Matters, is probably going to find this latest attempt even more amusing. It's hard to see how this new diss track will help Drake repair his standing in the rap world or set the stage for a fresh showdown with Kendrick. So what do you think about this track? Do you think it will help Drake make a comeback, or is it more of just the same? Let us know your thoughts in the comment section below. Thanks for watching. Also, if you haven't subscribed yet, kindly do so you don't miss the notification if Kendrick replies.